Hello, it is October. Like, I am in full Halloween mode. I'm excited. I'm doing a Halloween advent where I watch a different spooky or creepy movie every day of October. I'm excited. So this is probably the earliest I've actually filmed a haul video, because it's actually the 1st of October when I'm filming this. I have no idea when it's edited and being put up, but it's the earliest I've filmed one. It's not as hectic as the last few months. I've slowed down quite a lot. There's still a fair bit here, but when you look at it, there's like gifted and ARCs book boxes and then a small pile of actually purchased books. So this shouldn't take too long and it shouldn't make me feel as bad about, you know, buying stuff. I've sort of like moved from buying loads and loads of books to buying loads and loads of Funkos, which also doesn't help because I don't have any space for those either. So, but let's get stuck in. So this is going to be everything that I bought in September or received in September. So I'm going to start off with a gifted. So my birthday was back in March and Liv obviously was supposed to be coming for my birthday, but the week before my birthday lockdown happened, and then obviously because we are now able to have someone from another household staying as long as we still social distance. At the beginning of September, Liv came and she brought my birthday presents with her. Now I already knew about this because I was with her in February when she bought it, but it is the Seasons edition of Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Pride and Prejudice is my ultimate favourite classic. It is one of my favourite books in general, and I actually need to reread it because I've not read it for a while now. But it's got these gorgeous edges and these are numbered. So I have number 459 of 10,000, which, like, amazing. But yeah, these are absolutely stunning. I actually have, if you watch my haul from last month, which I'll put in the description, the link to in the description box below, you will see that I got the Jane Eyre and Persuasion in this season's editions. This was part of the spring editions, whereas the other two are part of the summer editions, so they are slightly different. The other one I was gifted was The Ghost Tree by Christina Henry. This was gifted to me by the lovely people over at Titan. It is a finished copy and I'm really excited to read this. I wasn't sure if I was getting this, so I didn't put it on my October TBR, but I'm gonna see if I can still try and fit it in somewhere, because not only am I reviewing it, I've not got a particular date I have to review by, but not only am I reviewing it, but I'm also, you know, it's spooky and it's October, so I'm gonna try and get to this. Like, I'm gonna try and power through my TBR and then get to this, or maybe just slip this in somewhere in my in between my TBR books, but we'll see. But thank you so much to Titan for sending me this. Next up is ARCs that I have found in trades. So I'm trying to build up collections for particular series and or authors. So you can't see through this pile of my TBR at the moment because I've decided to move my current TBR pile to my bedside table instead of the top shelf of my TBR cart. But I do have two Sarah Rash ARCs, which are these Rebel Waves, which is the first in a duology, and then Set Fire to the Gods, which is also a first in, I believe, a duology. And I love Sarah Rash's writing. She has become one of my favourite authors, even though I've only read 3 books by her and I haven't read her trilogy yet. But I saw someone with this on trade and I had to try and get it, and I was lucky enough to manage to do a trade with the person, and that is Frost Like Night by Sarah Rash. So this is the 3rd book in the trilogy that she's written. So I do need to try and get hold of the ARCs for the first 2, but I could not pass up getting this one because you never know if you're going to be able to get it again. So I had to pick this up, And then one of my other favourite authors is Holly Bourne. Now I do already have the ARC for The Places I've Cried in Public, which is such an amazing book. Read it. And then I saw someone with these on their trade list and I couldn't resist. So this is How Hard Can Love Be, which is the second in her Spinster Club trilogy, which I have not read the second, third and novella for yet. But I love the first book and I love her writing, so I know I'm going to love it. And Are We All Lemons and Snowflakes, which was actually one of my favourite books of, I believe it was 2018. Was it 2018? Yes. One of my favourite books of 2018. It was absolutely incredible and I loved it so goddamn much. So the next four I'm going to show you are from book boxes. Now, two of them were actually August's book boxes, but because of delays I didn't get them until well into September. So that is Fairy Loot's August book, which was Star Daughter by Shveta Thakrar. This edition was gorgeous and I really love it and I'm really excited to read this because it sounds really good. So that was Fairy Loot's August book, which I got in September. And then Illumicrate's August box was also delayed, but the book was The Space Between Worlds by Micaiah Johnson. And this sounds really good. And also look at those edges, like they're bright pink. You never get bright pink edges. But so that was the August book boxes. Now for September, I have only received my Fairy Loot and Book Box Club so far. Illumicrate, I believe they are beginning to ship this week, so they are a little bit delayed. And then Litjoy also has not started shipping yet, so lots of delays, but it's fine, it's fine. But for the September book boxes I did get, it's Book Box Club, which is D, The Tale of Two Words by Michael Faber, which this book is really pretty. Like, I really like the cover of this book. And then the other one was the Fairy Loot September box. So if you have not seen it yet, skip ahead like 30 seconds. And that is Fable by Adrienne Young. This, again, such a stunning cover. So they were the books I got from book boxes in September. The rest of the books, that I will be including in this are books that I have actually bought. And I don't feel as bad this month because, like I said, not as many, not as daunting. Still have no idea where I'm going to put any of them, but we're going to just not think about that, okay? Also, a lot of these are middle grade. I have gone through this whole thing where I want to read so much middle grade. Like, middle grade is my thing right now, which is great because my August TBR is all YA fantasy. Apart from... nope, all YA fantasy. Anyway, so the first two books I bought myself was the first two books in the Pinch of Magic series. I don't know what the actual name of the series is called. I can't remember, but it is basically A Pinch of Magic and A Sprinkle of Sorcery by Michelle Harrison. These books are amazing. I really wanted the sprayed edge versions, but I missed out on the Waterstones one for this and then again for this. So I'm just going to paint the edges myself at some point. Not yet, they're not done yet. But yeah, I picked these up because they were on a really good deal on a website that I was already ordering from. So I picked these up. I highly recommend these. I have read both of these and they are absolutely amazing. I cannot wait for book 3. It's going to be amazing. Next up is another middle grade, and that is The Ship of Shadows by Maria Kuzner. I'm sorry if that's wrong. This is like pirates and I'm excited. So this is a pirate book, but the pirates are all women, and I'm really excited for this because we need some feminism in pirates, and oh my god, it matches. Anyway, this sounds really good and I really like this cover. It's gorgeous. Me and my mum both actually got a copy of this because we have heard, I think it's Jade and Gavin So Jade at JD Ray Reads and Gavin at How to Train Your Gavin. We have heard them both talk about this. Gavin has talked about this quite a lot and raves about it. So I'm excited to get to this because he gives some really good middle grade recommendations. So I'm excited for this. Next up again is another middle grade, and that is Dragon Mountain by Katie and Kevin Sang. I'm so excited to read this. I love dragon books, although I'm really sad because I actually pre-ordered the edition with the dragon scale edges and I got sent just the standard edition. But Waterstones were really nice about it. They apologized that they had run out of stock of the dragon scale and they gave me a partial refund, which was really kind of them, and they did not have to do because I still wanted the book. The edges were just a bonus. I only emailed them to find out if there was an issue with it, if it was a mistake, but you know, I took the partial refund. I ain't complaining. But yeah, this sounds really good. I don't really know much about it other than it has dragons in it, because what else do I need to know about it to want to read it? But yeah, it's a middle grade, it has dragons, and I'm very excited for it. I feel like I'm just going through pure middle grades right now because it's how they've ended up in this pile. The next one is Starfell, Willow Moss and the Forgotten Tale by Dominique Valenti. So I really enjoyed the first Starfell book. It was absolutely amazing, and I've been waiting for this and I'm so excited that it's finally out on paperback. But yeah, this, I think like the first one, it has like pages of illustrations. The illustrations are done by Sarah Warburton again, and yeah, it's just such a good story and I'm excited to read the second one. Next up we have another middle grade sequel, and that is Frostheart Escape from Aurora by Jamie Littler. So I have not actually read the first Frostheart book yet. I do have it, and I have the edition with the gorgeous stenciled edges. So I knew I had to pre-order this one and not miss out on the stenciled edges so that I could have matching ones. But these books sound really good, and I'm thinking I'm going to get to them, or at least get to the first one, before the end of this year, because I do want to try and read some more like polar fantasy type books later in the year, because obviously I just got distracted by a bird flying past my window, because obviously Christmassy, snowy, yes. So yeah, and this is absolutely stunning, so I had to. Then we have a spooky one, which again I'm gutted I did not manage to put on my TBR because I didn't find out about it till after I'd done my TBR, and that is Crater Lake by Jennifer Killick. So this one is basically some kids go on a school trip to a lake and weird stuff happens, and I'm excited. So it's Welcome to Crater Lake, the year 6 school trip where your first day just might be your last. It sounds so good, and this cover is stunning. I love this cover. So I'm going to try and get to this in October like with the Ghost Tree, but there's no guarantee I'll be able to because I already have a lot on here and I'm falling behind on my review copies, which yay. And I think this is the final no, it's not the final middle grade. This final middle grade sequel. It is Jungle Drop by Abby Elphinstone. So this is the sequel to Rumble Star, which I read earlier this year. And this was actually supposed to come out in May, but obviously it was one of the victims of pushbacks due to COVID. And it came out like last week and I had it pre-ordered, so I was fine. So I'm really excited. This is the second in the Unmapped Chronicles series. I don't know how many books there is going to be. I think it might be 3, but I could be wrong. But I really enjoyed Rumble Star, so I knew instantly that I had to pre-order the second one. I think it follows 2 different characters. Yeah, so twins Fox and Fibber, so it does follow different characters, and I imagine it will be in a different world on the Unmapped Chronicles, which will be interesting to see another one other than Rumble Star. So I'm looking forward to this. And next we have not a middle grade, but a YA, and that is Heartbreak Boys by Simon James Green. Now, I've never read a Simon James Green book before. Noah Can't Even has appealed to me, and as has, I think it's Alice in Wonderland, but I've just never got round to it. But then this, I couldn't resist. It just sounds so good, and I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna buy it. That's literally my reasoning. So yeah. Next we have a sequel. and I'm so excited to read this, and I'm so annoyed I forgot to put it on both my September and October TBRs, and that is Majesty by Katharine McGee. This is the sequel to American Royals, which I read last year and absolutely adored, and I cannot wait to get to this. Like, I am going to try and remember to put it on my November TBR because I need to read this so badly, and I'm excited to see where it goes after how the first book ended, which if you know, you know. But yeah, so there was this as well. Next is a book I've been wanting to buy for a while, and in the end I just caved. It's actually one of my favourite books, and I don't have a physical copy of it because I originally borrowed it off of a friend, and then I bought the audio book on Audible, and I've listened to it on Audible, but I finally caved and was like, no, I need a physical copy, and I want this physical copy, and that is Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. Now, I absolutely adore this book so much. He just has a way of writing, and this is actually an illustrated one, so on some pages there's a little bit, but then there's other pages where it's like a full page illustration, and I just really, look at those illustrations, I just really want to reread it. And yeah, I absolutely love this story, and I highly recommend it because it's amazing. And if you do decide to go for the audiobook, it's narrated by Neil Gaiman himself, and he has such a way with telling a story both in words and voice, and he's incredible. So yeah. Next up, it was a book to complete a collection, kind of. So it is The Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo. Now, I have wanted this edition, like the hardback edition, for a while, and I saw it being sold on Depop by Keris over at, I think it's Library of Keris. I'll link her down below anyway, but she was selling some stuff on her Depop page, and I had a look, and this was there, and I was like, yes, okay. And she was so lovely. She also added in some other bits and pieces from her Etsy store, like bookmarks and artwork and badges and stuff, which was really kind of her. But yeah, so I'm so excited to have this because this was the only Leigh Bardugo book that I did not own, and now I do own it, so I'm happy. And then finally, it's a trilogy. So these I bought because I've started reading one of the author's other series, Percy Jackson, and these sound really good. So it is the Kane Chronicles by Rick Riordan. So it is The Throne of Fire, The Red Pyramid, and The Serpent's Shadow, although I don't think that's the order they go in, that's just the order they're somehow in. But yeah, I am really enjoying the Percy Jackson, and these ones are apparently Egyptian mythology, which really interests me because I went through a phase when I was younger, quite a long phase when I was younger, where I was absolutely obsessed with ancient Egypt, so, and learning about all the gods and everything. So I'm very excited to read these, and literally like 2 days after I ordered them, he announced that they are being made into Netflix films, so these are being bumped up the TBR for when I've finished the Percy Jackson books, which I am going to be starting book 3 of very soon. So there was those 3. So they were all the books nope, I've forgotten one. I almost forgot one, and well, 2 actually, but I can't show you one of them properly. But basically I bought 2 editions of the same book because they were pre-orders, and that is Lost Book of the White by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. So this is obviously the Rune edition. The only Rune edition I don't have is Lady Midnight, and I still hate myself for. And then this edition, my mum's currently reading it, so I only have the dust jacket because she's using her book sleeve dust jacket while she's reading it. So this is the actual standard edition. So this is the new cover, but because now Bloomsbury take note for A Court of Silver Flames, they've done a reversible dust jacket, so that if you don't like or just don't want the new dust jacket, or if you just want matching covers, you can have the matching cover, which obviously, as you can tell from the folding, I will be having the matching cover. But yeah, so there's that. I did also actually get the Illumicrate Red Scrolls of Magic and Lost Book of the White. However, the Lost Book of the White is damaged, so I'm not going to show you those in this, but I did get them. So technically I bought 3 editions of this. I do have a 4th on the way. Well, not on the way yet, but I will also be having the Fae Crate edition of this. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. But anyway, that was my book haul for September. And you know what? I do feel like I've forgotten one, but I don't think I have, because I keep a box with everything I buy. The only reason I nearly forgot these was because obviously I read them. So this was in my like read pile. I don't think I have missed anything, but if I have, oh well. But yeah, so that was everything. If you have read any of these, let me know. And let me know what you thought of them. No spoilers though. And yeah, if there's any you think I should prioritise in my November TBR, let me know as well, because obviously this one's being prioritised in my November TBR, but for the rest I'm not sure, so you'll have to help me out there. So if you liked this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Bye.